is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. Today I got a nice episode for y'all. We're going to get into the hottest topic again, reparations. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We only need 40 more subscribers, family. So please hit that subscribe button. If you know anybody that watches YouTube, make sure you tell them to subscribe as well. We are the unapologetically talking person for the people. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, that share button, and the notification bell. So let's get into it, man. We got a lot of people speaking on reparations that don't need to be speaking on reparations. This is why these task force that they are putting together, there's a lot of task force too, but these task force that they're putting together needs to be vetted for the simple fact that they are allowing just anybody to come up here and talk to the government and to these people who are listening to determine whether we get our reparations or not. And I'm starting to think some of these people are being planted purposely to undermine the reparations movement, because we are making so many strides that they are actually talking numbers. This is getting onto the mainstream media. And I think people are now getting nervous because they believe that this will come to fruition at some point. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. We also going to talk about what Joe Biden did, passing this bill, this $55 billion bill to Africa and what that means. So let's get into it. Let me share my screen real quick. I hope y'all had a blessed weekend too. We're going to start off with the reparations. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Any amount is too little, and every amount is never enough.
Your job is to hear us. We want transparency. First thing I said yesterday was the dead people in front of us. And we said, for my neighborhood, the dead homies. They will be respected and get reparations.
Fam, this nigga just brought up the dead homies. Now, people, listen, right? As much as like, because hold on, let me let him finish. Let me let him finish real quick. He said the dead homies, so they can they need to get paid as well, so they can pass it down to their peoples. Family, the dead homies peoples, if they are eligible, they will get reparations. We ain't giving dead people bread, bro. Let's be realistic, my nigga. We not giving no dead homies no bread. Shout out to the dead homies too, goddamn it. But at the end of the day, they can't get no reparations, fam. Come on, let's be realistic, right? Even when it comes to the natives and anybody else that they gave money to, they're not giving it to the dead people. What the dead people got an account that the money's going into? Come on, family. Come on, fam. We got to get it together.
I think the reparations should be as follows. Is to be gifted to us with gold and silver bullion to, as I said before, my antebellum slaves and ancestors and their heirs. It should be measured in the amount of 1 troy ounce of gold and silver for each antebellum slave and their descendants, according to the conditions of the mother for 16 generations. That equals 1,724 metric tons of gold and silver.
Family, if you want gold and silver bars, Nigga, buy that shit with your cash. Buy that shit with your cash. We not taking no gold and silver and all this. They ain't giving everybody else gold and silver, fam. They giving them cash. They getting direct deposits to that account in cash. Man, listen, people are coming up here saying some of the craziest stuff, family. Some of the it's another person too. We gonna hold on. I'm gonna Tariq Nasheed, because he wasn't on this. I couldn't find his other brother. This is the same guy, but he's only going to talk for a quick second before he goes to the other one. Shout out to
metric tons of gold and silver bullion. So we're asking that you give us reparations because America is number one on God's list to be destroyed. So if you don't accommodate us and you don't assist us, just watch what our God is going to do to America.
Watch what our God is going to do to America. Now, family, again, if you are a religious person, that's your business. I don't knock anybody's religion. I don't knock anybody's faith. I don't care if you believe in the devil, dog. If you a devil worshiper, man, that's what you do, and that is what it is. But when it comes to our liberation plight, we have to leave the religion to the side. And I'm just going to say this, and this is no offense to nobody, but fam, if your God was going to punish somebody, he would have punished them already. Stop with this talk, man. Stop with this talk. If you don't assist us, God will punish you. Come on, dog. God should have punished you when you was pulling when you was strapping ropes to each leg and pulling them apart, letting the horses go in each different direction. When you was feeding our babies as using them as alligator bait. When you was hanging us and raping us and everything else, man, if he was going to punish you, he would have punished you back then. Come on, man, knock it off with all this goofy shit. These people are planted here, bro. This is what I'm saying. These people are just saying, oh, we need gold bars. The dead homies need checks. And like, what are we talking about? What the hell? This is why you have to sit some people down and get people who know what they're talking about and who is on code. And I noticed they got two of these Morris brothers. All of them ain't like that, but Jesus Christ, come on, family. Come on, family. We got, first of all, they be acting like they sovereign citizens, right? So if you sovereign at the end of the day, why you not even eligible, right? You like Moroccan or something. You like claiming Moroccan or something like that, right? Man, listen, family, we have to vet these people. We just can't have any old body just coming up here talking, because this is what's going to happen. They're going to use clips, because again, that was a Fox News clip. This from somebody else's show. This is a different Fox News clip. And again, we also got to watch, because this guy right here, he's definitely mixed. So he's black. So they try to use a black person. They're going to bring a black female up there. They try to use black people to undermine us and to say we shouldn't get reparations and how dumb this is, because they know if a white person comes up here and says it, then, you know, it's going to be looked at as some type of racism or they hating and things like that. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to show you how they take these stupid people and make clips of the dumb things they're saying. But again, watch this, because Tariq was on Fox a couple of times, right? They don't bring him up there or use the clips of what the people like Dr. Claude Anderson. Like, they're not going to use a clip of Dr. Claude Anderson because he makes sense. But see, these reparation committees are using just anybody. They're just allowing anybody to come up and be heard. And to an extent, I get why you're trying to do it, because you want everybody's voice to be heard at some point, but everybody's voice can't be heard at a certain time. When you're having a little meeting on the side and you could just hear when people come up and talk that bullshit, we need fruits and vegetables as reparations. You know what I mean? We need silver and gold. And come on, dog, knock all this goofy shit off. We need churches and all this other shit. Like, at the end of the day, man, when it comes time, because they was on a floor in a government office and they talking about gold bars and the dead homies and all this other goofy shit. This is not the time to just be bringing anybody up here. We are too close to getting these checks for we to have people just talking a bunch of nonsense. Here, let me get on here real quick. Let me play this real quick.
Welcome back to Unfiltered. So, California's socialist Gavin Newsom's reparations task force wants to put taxpayers on the hook for another woke joke, and the joke's on you. $500 billion.
I want to say this too, family. Excuse me for the it was cold as hell outside. The word woke, right? In our community, we know woke is being aware and people being conscious to an extent, and not sleep anymore, or like sleep to the or sheep, as I should say, to mainstream media, or just in general. You start to come to knowledge. When we use the word, it's like the word woke, it's like coming into knowledge. So the mainstream media has tried to turn the word woke into a negative, right? And they say this woke joke, and they're using people that truly aren't woke to try to make it seem like they're talking woke talk, right? So again, this is another way to undermine the grassroots and people in our community, because they know we talk that woke shit. So that's one of the words that we use. So they're trying to use that as a negative thing now.
$1 billion in reparations for Black Americans. Just do the math. It could mean more than $200,000 per person who qualifies. Of course, liberal media's love this story. They've been pushing it for a while.
That reparations for African Americans could have cut COVID-19 transmission.
You can make a case for reparations without even having to go to slavery.
Now, again, she said something about COVID. We said something. The other one said something about we don't even have to we can make a claim without going to slavery. No, we are going to slavery, because slavery is going to cut a lot of people out. See, what they try to do is they try to take slavery out of it, because they know that slavery is undeniable, right? It's undeniable. It's easy to pinpoint who lineage links back to slavery and whose doesn't, right? And you know that it will be foundational Black Americans, freedmen, and anybody that's outside of that will not have a claim. So again, they try to take it out of slavery and take it to discrimination, racism, and all of this, because that allows other groups to come in and be a part of our claim. So this is why they get people up here on this mainstream media, whether it's the Fox or CNN, NBC, ABC, and all these other MSNBC and all these other mainstream media outlets. They bring these people on there to, it sounds like they're for it at the end of the day, but also they're doing a type of undermining, because anytime you see people talk about slavery for racism, slavery for discrimination, it is a undermining tactic. You have to understand that that's a undermining tactic, because they want to take slavery out, because slavery strictly deals with freedmen, foundational Black Americans, ADOS, whatever you want to call us.
Created the situation. It's our job to solve it.
It's only discrimination. Black people are treated like garbage in this country.
See how he just said it's only discrimination. This is why they try to bring and use clips of people like this to make it seem as though, it's discrimination. Nobody's saying slavery, right? Nobody's saying slavery. Everybody's saying everything but slavery. You notice that?
Country. We don't know what it means necessarily. People have different definitions of what reparations are.
How you don't know? How you cutting checks for reparations, right? This is why they use this clip, family. How you don't know what reparations mean, but you're about to cut checks for reparations? This is Governor Newsom. Again, I am very skeptical of any white person in the political arena, right? Because again, they all galvanized behind each other when it comes to anti-Black racism. So no matter what side of the fence they on, whether it's Republican, Democrat, Green, liberal, whatever the hell, independent, whatever it is, these white people galvanize together to for the purpose of being anti-black. When it comes to, they might agree on all this other stuff when it comes to immigration and all of this stuff and other things like that, sending money to Israel, they'll come together to do things like that. But when it comes to, or they might disagree also on things like that. But one thing they will agree on, is anti-black racism.
Joining me now to make sense of all this is the host of Just Listen to Yourself with Kira Davis, our friend Kira Davis. Kira, listen, this sounds like one of these crazy leftist plans, but this is real. They're going to put pen to paper on this. Is there more than meets the eye to this reparations plan?
That $500 billion number only applies to one of their grievance areas, and that's housing discrimination. The original report has over a dozen areas of grievances that they feel Black Americans, particularly in California, should have reparations for. And some of those issues are things that range from disparity in healthcare outcomes to discrimination against Black transgender Americans and climate discrimination. So that $500 billion does not even come close to what the final price tag on this could be should it be passed through California's legislature. It's a boondoggle.
So, Kira, where does it end if we're all paying for the sins of not just your father, but your great-great-great-grandfather and everyone else, despite you having done nothing wrong or ever having to?
I don't want to hear that, fam. We already went over this. Again, people in Alaska, all these Native Americans in Oregon and everywhere else in North Carolina, wherever these in South Dakota, they are getting reparations. They are getting checks every single month. Some of them get quarterly checks. Some of them get checks every single month based off their great-grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-great-great-great-grandfathers, and I did nothing to him. Family, you watching, I don't care what color you are, you did nothing to the Native Americans. Your tax dollars come, them federal taxes that get taken out of your check goes to those Native Americans' pockets. So all this stuff, see, that's why I hate mainstream media, because they never, ever, ever, ever bring that shit up. They never bring up how our tax dollars go to everybody else. If your parents was around at the time when the Japanese got put in internment camps and they got paid by the U.S. government, your parents and grandparents who did nothing to the Japanese, their tax dollars went to the Japanese. So at the end of the day, all this, you wasn't there, you didn't grieve anybody. We don't really care about that. We don't care who you are, who you didn't aggrieve. I know that your tax dollars is going to pay for this reparations. At the end,
taking part in this atrocity that happened in this country. Where does it end? Who else gets reparations? And the irony is it's paid with government money, so we're all paying ourselves.
Well, you're not supposed to think that hard about it.
No, we're not going to be paying ourselves again, right? Because at the end of the day, right, part of reparations will be tax exemption, the same way the Native Americans don't pay taxes, so they're not paying for their own reparations. See what I'm saying? See how easy that is? But again, this is why, family, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. And we have to get away from mainstream media. This is the biggest propaganda machine on the planet, right? And this is another reason that YouTube and all these other platforms, right, they try to they try to monitor and what you call that, shadow ban certain people, certain channels, and certain talking points so that it doesn't get out to wake everybody up, to quote unquote wake everybody up. See, because they try to use that whole woke as a bad thing, but they don't want people woke because they know that at the end of the day, things is going to change very soon.
about it, Dan. Of course, the answer is that it never ends. We know what the grievance industry is. It's an industry. And so if you solve one problem, what's going to happen to all those jobs? So no, of course it will never end. But I would like to point out that the real problem with this proposal is
it will never end. They're mad because it won't never end. When does it end for the Native Americans? When do they stop getting checks? When does it end? It will never end. See, and they know that because they know that the Native Americans been getting checks before you was born. When you die, they will still be getting checks. A Native American right now, if they have a baby, the next month, that baby will be getting a check. I don't care how old he is, whether he's 2 months, 20 months, 2 years old, 4 years old, will be getting a check every single month, right? Will be getting a check in his name or her name every single month.
Is that it creates more government. It isn't just a one-time kind of deal like, hey, let's just drop $200,000 on every Black American, boom, problem solved, we're sorry, go on with your lives and don't spend it all in one place. It's not even like that, which would at least be something to like hold on to. But this proposal creates a myriad of new government committees, and the Department of African American and Freedmen Affairs would be created. And you're talking about a department that would have access to literally trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that would be handed out, not in the form of cash payouts, but of scholarships, of housing vouchers, of tax credits.
No, it will be cash payouts. It absolutely will be cash payouts and land grants. We don't want housing vouchers. We don't want housing vouchers at all. We want land grants so we can build our own homes. I don't need a housing voucher so that you can put me up in somebody's apartment complex and they get the fruits of all that later. They get the fruits of that money. No, ma'am. I'm going to build my own apartment complex and then I'm going to house people, and you can use and you can give up. Now you can give these other groups housing vouchers so they can come to my complex and then spend their bread in my complex. You feel what I'm saying? That's how it goes.
Scholarships for your businesses. A proposal like this puts Black people back in chains to the government. So we'll be beholden to the government for the rest of our lives if this goes through.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. At the end of the day, so what about the Native Americans? They chained to the government? Knock it off. Knock it off. So if you owe me, if I owe you money, you're chained to me because I'm now paying you back. Nah, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. That's enough for them, right? So again, family, we are on their heels. It's going down. I promise you that it's going down. We are making strides. And you know how we know we're making strides? Because of shit like that. Because they are like he said, they're putting pen to paper with numbers, right? So again, it's really about to go down, family, and we have to be on point. We have to be on point because the moment we start slipping up and letting these retarded people talk about the dead homies and all this stupid shit, and we letting just any old body come to the forefront and say whatever they gotta say, oh, we want gold bars, we want silver, we want all, nigga, listen. Get that cash payment and buy whatever the hell you think the government should give you. You feel me, fam? When you get your bread, the quote unquote dude that was talking about the dead homies, when you get your check, make sure you put it in the dead homies account so their daughters and sons and kids can get to the dead homies money. Even though they're going to get a check, their kids is going to get a check themselves. If you think the dead homies should get a check, use your check and put it in the dead homies account. Niggas is talking crazy as hell, bro. Crazy as hell. And I'm not even going to get back into the whole God going to destroy America if they don't do whatever they going to do. Like, man, knock it off. Knock it off. Again, no knock to nobody's religion, but man, we got to keep the religious talk out of it, bro. The devil worshiping talk out of it, nigga. All this old goofy shit. We ain't talking logical liberation talk. man, leave that shit to the side. And once we get our checks, then we could debate whether the devil worshiping and we should be devil worshiping, whether we should be God worshiping, whether we should be fucking moon and sun worshiping or whatever the hell it is we do, right? Again, so at the end of the day, family, man, we have to, bro, we have to get up on this because I'm trying to tell you, these checks is going to come really, really, really soon. So, let's get into this Africa thing, right? So Africa just received about $55 billion from, our government, Joe Biden, and they are, I think this is really for the Congo and the they're trying to take all these minerals out of it. So again, this isn't no deal. Let me show y'all real quick. Let me show y'all this real fast. So here we go. Wind it a little teeny bit.
3-day U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit, President Biden told the crowd the United States is, quote, all in on Africa's future, pitching the U.S. as a reliable partner to promote democratic elections and push critical health and energy growth. Biden told the crowd that Monday's announcement of $55 billion in investments over the next 3 years was, quote, just the beginning, promising more than $15 billion in private trade and investment commitments, as well as partnerships.
See? Now watch this, family. This is why, swear to God, this is why Pan-Africanism is no go. Hold on, family.
A memorandum of understanding in which the U.S. will support the DRC and Zambia in developing an electric vehicle value chain. I really want to commend the DRC and Zambia, their governments, for their leadership and vision in developing an electric vehicle battery council. This is the future, and it is happening in the DRC and the Zambia. DRC produces.
Look at these goofy. I know y'all can barely hear it, family, but look at these. This is why the Pan-Africanism is not even a thing. This is why it's not a thing. Y'all are selling Africa out, right? Y'all are selling African out, right? So the U.S. African Summit, a memorandum was signed that will have the governments of Zimbabwe, DR Congo, surrendered the supply chain and production of copper and cobalt to American control. Family, listen. We can't do this shit. This is why we have to worry about our own situation, because y'all have all the resources, and instead of using those resources to build your own country up, you rather sell all the resources to somebody else just for you to get money. So you just basically sold the hell out. Congo, right? They also, I don't know if it's cobalt or whatever that resource is. And again, I always tell you, this is why we want land. Because again, all the resources come from the land, family. All the resources come from the land. You have to remember that. So, your laptop, your smartphones, your iPads, all of that material comes from the Congo. All of that material comes from the Congo. You feel me? Yo, this shit is killing me, because as much as I want us to unite with Africa, you got to get these type of, and all of y'all from Africa ain't like this. All of y'all not like this. I know y'all not like this, but man, we got to get these niggas. They have to get these niggas out the paint. Africa has to get these type of niggas out the paint. That's the only way we can work with y'all, and we could all work together to use Africa's resources to build us all up, right? Because Africa has more resources on that one continent than all the continents put together. But somehow they are one of the poorest motherfucking continents on the damn planet. Because of this goofy shit. Let me see if you can still hear it.
70% of the world's coal. Zambia is the world's 6th largest copper producer, 2nd largest coal producer in Africa. Global demand for critical minerals is going to skyrocket over the next decade.
You just hear what he just said? Let me bring that back a little bit.
Minerals is going to skyrocket over the next decade.
Global demand for minerals is going to skyrocket in the next decade. So this is why the United States is trying to get a hold of the resources. Family, listen. You heard Dr. Claude Anderson. We don't own and control no resources. We don't own and control no resources. Foundational Black Americans, freedmen in America, slavery maldistributed 99% of the resources into the hands of the dominant white society. Listen, we have to change the game by sticking together, doing what we have to do to make this reparation thing happen. And we have to get real demands. We have to get our best thinkers, right? Our most intellectual thinkers on this topic, not the nigga who's a astrophysicist, not the I ain't gonna even say it. I ain't even gonna say it. We just need our best intellectual thinkers, man. I was gonna say be real petty, but we need our best intellectual thinkers. That is like Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. William Sandy Darity. We need these type of people, our economists, things like that did the study, did the research already, know exactly what we need. And we need to form, again, because when that lady was talking about the Freedmen Bureau and the Freedmen Affairs, right? Again, that is crucial. That is crucial because the Native Americans have their own Native American affairs in the federal government. They are the ones who handle the bread and pass out the checks. See, it's not the government, because the government can get funny. You feel me? So we have our own people in there who say, yep, slide us this bread, and then we're going to slide it out to our people, right? And then we have the committee to say who is a foundational Black American freedman and who's not, right? Because, again, once we have the affair thing, then you have to go to the office. It ain't just no doing online and we just going to do this online and somebody done finessed and use somebody else's paperwork. Nah, bring your paperwork up here, nigga, so I can see that face. You feel me? We ain't going to have a whole bunch of scamming and all this old goofiness going on. And you got white people over here behind the computer or some Nigerians over here behind the computer doing some goofy shit, making up paperwork and all this other stuff, and then getting some of these checks, right? And we're not going to get no $5 FBAs and all this other stuff. So, family, listen, man, we are very, very, very close to getting reparations. Please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Hit the subscribe button. We only need 40 more subscribers to hit this $1,000. Shit, I wish. To hit this 1,000 subscriber mark. We're going and thank you for all the people who are subscribed. You know, it's a blessing. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate all y'all support. Again, thank you for all the people in the comment section who comment. Whether you agree or disagree, I like to engage. I was actually engaging with somebody the other day, and they was talking about, oh man, Tone and Yvette, and I have no issues with them like that, right? I don't agree with everything they say all the time. I definitely like Tone. I don't really listen to Yvette that much, and it's nothing, I don't have anything against. I just really don't listen to her that much. I have listened to her, but I don't, that's just not somebody that I listen to. I listen to Tone here and there. I'm gonna be honest, Tone is a little dry to me. You know what I mean? He has very good information though, especially with the statistics. I love the breakdown of the statistics that he gives based on what's the statistics he be giving out, like oh my god, the wealth, like the wealth gap statistics and how much wealth we have each person from each state and stuff like that. He gives good statistics, and I like that. That's, you know what I mean. But you know, that's what I rock with him with. But dude, like, yo, man, they started this reparations thing, and I was like, nah, really, Dr. Claude Anderson and some other people really, like, you know, they was the movers of the they was like, then after I said, because he was trying to say Tariq, and I was like, nah, Tariq wasn't even. He said no, it wasn't Tariq, it was Tone and them who started the reparations. I'm like, it wasn't none of them, to be honest. It was actually Dr. Claude Anderson and some other people. You know what I mean? A shout out to them. It goes, you know, it goes a little farther than him too. But you know, from my understanding, you know, I know that Dr. Claude Anderson was talking reparations in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. So like, I don't know what this nigga was talking about. Then he tried to say, after I said Dr. Claude Anderson, he was like, nah, they was the people who started the lineage-based reparations, and they started the whole make it lineage-based. And I'm like, no, they really didn't. It was Dr. Claude. And again, now you moving the needle, because you never said anything about lineage-based, and that's how they started it. You just said they started the reparations talk, and then you tried to switch it up, tried to move the goalposts after I corrected you. But again, it doesn't matter who started what. At the end of the day, long as we get some checks, bro, it ain't finished. So and that's another thing that Tone used to just kill me with all the time. Yeah, we started we the one brung this to me. Who cares who brung it? Who cares who started it? Who cares about any of that shit? It ain't done. We don't have no checks. I don't care what you started. It ain't finished, right? I can say whatever about starting anything, bro. If it ain't finished and we don't got any we don't got no checks. We ain't got no land. We ain't got anything yet. So, dog, at the end of the day, you bringing up who started it is irrelevant as hell. Let's get the checks and then argue about who started it. You feel what I'm saying? So, again, I just sidetracked like a motherfucker. But again, make sure y'all subscribe, man. We need some more subscribers. And at the end of the day, we are I'm very unapologetic. You won't get any of this type of talk from the mainstream media, because this is why, another reason too, they try to suppress our content, make sure certain content that we create doesn't go through the algorithm. Again, watch this, right? I can actually show y'all real quick, because this is the type of shit that they do. I'm gonna go to my channel real fast, right? What's going on? See, we need 40 more subscribers, family. Come on, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button. So, see, I talked about Godfrey, you know, standing up for Raphael Warnock over Marcel Dixon. That gets 3.7 thousand views. Because, again, this is controversial. I'm actually talking about Godfrey and how that was, you know, what you call that? You know, that was a little bit of cooning, a little bit of off. I ain't even gonna say cooning. That was very off code what he did. I'm not going to just straight up call the man a coon. But again, see, they love controversy, right? Controversy gets it, right? See, again, I'm talking about Van Jones, talking kind of down on him. I had the picture up of Kanye because, again, you know, your what you call this thing right here? Your thumbnail is really one of the main things that will get the algorithm popping too, right? You need your thumbnail to be right. You need your description to be, you know, wrote in a certain way and things like that. But right, see, when we just talk about reparations regularly, it doesn't really get that much status unless I'm talking on a beefing type of, not even beefing. I don't even like to use that word beefing, but if it's not controversial, you know, they don't like to get the algorithm popping. But again, this is why they suppress it, because we are talking facts, right? We are talking unapologetic. We not, as Tariq would say, plebiscite babbling and all of this other stuff. We not off that type of time, right? We not going with the mainstream media's agenda. I don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? I give you my perspective from what I feel. I try to be as on code as possible. at the end of the day. So again, we have to support Black media at the end of the day. I got into this so I could, get my voice out there to be heard, right? I feel like sometimes I have some good things to say, and I feel like y'all do too. This is why I like some of y'all breaking things down in the comments, because sometimes I look through the comments and I be like, damn, that was I wish I would have said that in my video. You know what I mean? Because some people, say things that's not on my mind that, is very insightful at the end of the day. So again, make sure y'all drop some comments in the comment section. That whole Pan-Africanism shit, that shit is dead, family. That shit is dead. And listen, I'm not saying that we don't need to work with Africans, right? I do think we need to work with Africans. I think we all need to work together at some point. But again, man, this is why a lot of Africans are leaving there, right? Because again, you notice their favorite word of why you left your homeland? Why'd you come over here? Like, why you can't get it together over there? Anytime they are asked that, why you can't get it together on your homeland, the first thing they say is the government. The first thing they say is the government, right? Because again, you have these Black African raccoons, right? That are undermining them, right? And I get it. I don't get the leaving, because at the end of the day, we stand here fighting. We not going to Africa. We not going to France. We not going to England and all this other stuff. We not going to China or Mexico, Canada. We not going nowhere. We're staying here and fighting the government that is oppressing us and that owes us, right? Y'all are leaving the country with the most resources to come over here and try to do good. When you just heard the United States say it's about to be a fight for resources in the next decade, y'all are leaving there to come to the United States that don't really have that much resources. And the white people own and control all of it. So you're coming out of there, you going in there, they're going in there. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because see, a lot of these African people also know that their government is very shady. But again, y'all got to get them niggas out the paint. Y'all got to get them out the paint, man. See, listen, this is why when they come over here, they don't have no fight in them. And this is why that Pan-African, when working with the ones that's over here, to an extent, not all of y'all, but majority of y'all, because they don't just send fighters over here. They don't send y'all fighters over here like that, because the United States ain't allowing them in here like that. They like, no, we're not letting them come over here so they can join these niggas who fighting all the time. You see how we got the reparations thing popping? Y'all know, name a country that's been getting reparations. Name some other black people in other countries in the Caribbean, Africa, Australia, wherever they at. Name them that's been pushing the reparations like we have, and been pushing the needle like we have. You feel me? We got that reparation talk on a worldwide scale. Real talk. It's the number one topic in the country, right? It's number one topic in the world, because we actually be having other countries. We had a Britain dude in Britain on their news channel talking about how talking about the California reparations. Come on, dog. We got this shit popping. We got this popping, and it's going to happen. We just have to stay on code enough to make sure when it does happen, it's not no goofiness happening, right? That's why we need what that lady said. That's one thing I do agree with that lady that was on Fox. I ain't going to say I agree with her, but to an extent, I just like what she said about that that Freedmen Affairs that's going to be linked to the government, that's going to handle all the checks and all of that other stuff, right? Because again, this is why people like when Umar was saying that whole, oh, well, it's going to be a one-time thing and all this. And it ain't going to be no one-time thing. And they know that. They know it's not going to be a one-time thing, because it wasn't a one-time thing with anybody else, right? It wasn't a one-time thing with the Native Americans. Native Americans still get tax exemption to this day, right? They still get checks to this day, You feel what I'm saying? They still getting casinos and casino money till this day, dog. Free healthcare till this day. Free college till this day. Like, you're not going to sit here and tell me that we're going to get some one-time deal. That ain't happening. No, that ain't happening. Them days is over. But again, back to that Pan-Africanism is dead. Dead. It's dead as a doorknob. This is why Dr. Umar, to an extent, again, I like Dr. Umar. This is why his movement isn't really going nowhere. This is why he's struggling to raise money for years to get that fucking school started, right? Think about this, family. Dr. Umar said he's the most requested scholar around the world. He don't say in the United States, he says around the world. He'll talk about his Dominican Africans, you feel me? His Brazilian Africans, his Congo Africans, his Nigeria Africans, his Chinese Africans. He names Africans all around the world, right? And he definitely goes all around the world, right? Speaking and doing it. Come on, dog. And it's been taking you all this money to raise the money to build this school up? Nah, fam. That's because people not supporting, because that shit is dead. It's more Africans around the world than it is Black Americans, dog. You crazy, man. You got one. You might have one country over there that got 100 million fucking Black Africans over there. One African country will have 100 million Africans over there. We only got 40 million we only got 40 million freedmen and Black Americans here. What are you talking about? No, 50 to 60, because they under count us. Come on, so you go all around here to Brazil, everywhere, Africa, every continent every country in Africa and all this stuff, and you can't get them. Come on, man, that's because Pan-Africanism is dead. That shit is dead. Come on, man, that shit is dead. They not trying to work together. They are not trying to allow us to get citizenship over there, to, share those resources. Come on, dog. You could have shared them with us. You let them niggas buy you out. Come on, family. What's going on here, man? And all you Pan-Africanists, name me some people over there that are moving the needle on this Pan-Africanism stuff. When can we go over there and grab resources, land, all of that shit? How many of them come over here and help us with any of the shit we got going on? We still hold the heaviest fair share of all things negative in this country, right? We have all these Africans that come over here, and all of them ain't helping. Majority of them aren't. Majority of them aren't down with us. You got some that are, and I'll shout out to y'all. We respect y'all. Like, for real, we definitely respect the riders and the soldiers that's like, yo, forget that. We all won and we rocking, right? Y'all fight is our fight is y'all fight. We down with that, but you got a nice amount of them who don't rock with us. It's just like that, right? So again, we have to understand that that whole Pan-Africanism, listen, man, it's dead as hell. That shit is dead as hell. You got all these African presidents and these leaders over here who just give up everything to all these other countries, all these other different colored people, instead of doing it within each other and building up the whole Africa. You should be trading with another African country, right? every part of Africa has certain little minerals that they have the most of, right? You might have one that has a lot of gold, you got one that has a lot of bauxite or cobalt or whatever the hell, copper, and right? Why wouldn't you share it? Why wouldn't you trade that with another African country that, you know, doesn't have that, and they can use that, you feel me, to do whatever the hell the United States is going to be using with that? Come on, man. This was a play. This was a play by our government. You feel me? And instead of giving us as reparations the $55 billion, you gave it to them so you can run through there and run through their resources. See what I'm saying, family? This is why we have to be on our own bike, right? We have to deal with our own situation and get ourselves right before we can help anybody else. Because people who aren't willing to help themselves or fight for themselves, we're not fighting for them. We're not fighting for them, man. Listen, I remember somebody telling me one day that it was this kid, we was locked up, man. He would, you know, get bullied a little bit, right? Not a whole lot, but he would get bullied a nice little bit. And I remember someone was like, man, he was like, man, I'm tired of people picking on him, man. I'm about to fuck niggas up. And someone was like, man, for what? Like, he ain't never fighting back. What you gonna fight for him for? He won't fight back his own damn self. It's one thing if he fighting back and just getting beat up, then he'd be like, all right, well, like, listen, nigga can't really fight. Boom, boom, boom. But like, yo, you not fighting back at all? Like, you not fighting back at all, not even a little bit, dog? You feel me? Like, nigga, throw one punch at this nigga, you letting this nigga just hit on you, mush you and shit, you ain't gonna smack back once? I'm not fighting for nobody that ain't fighting for themselves, man. Come on, man. We can't continue to try to do this Pan-African thing and think we're gonna be this whole one big Negro kumbaya, this, that, and the third. And then when it really boiled down to it, we the only ones doing all the work. We the only ones really fighting. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's what I always say, man. Think about it, man. When you look at the biggest people that's on the Pan-African thing, they always foundational Black Americans. They are. I don't even be hearing other fucking Africans say the word Pan-Africanism. They might say, yo, I rock with y'all. They ain't saying nothing about no Pan-Africanism, though. They don't talk that whole Pan-Africanism shit. They don't. They really don't. And again, I know Umar is like a big old Pan-Africanist. I get it. He the Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong consciousness and all of this. I get it, right? I get it. But man, that's not working, bro. That's not working. The whole Pan-Africanism thing isn't working, bro. It's way too many of them, and it's not enough help. It's not enough help. When you telling me you got foundational Black Americans, freedmen, that's the thing, people. But you got us in America, and you got all these other Africans around the world, and you can't get this school started. It's been taking you all these years to truly get this school started. Can't rock with it, dog. That just tells you right there that the Pan-Africanism shit is dead. When Tariq raised $1 million, and he's not the most requested anything, according to Dr. Umar, and he raised $1 million in 1 month. And majority of the people who donated to him was foundational Black American freedmen. Right? Because he beefs a lot with those Africans. I'm not saying no African person or somebody that was outside of being a foundational Black American did not contribute, right? But majority, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of the people that donated to Flex, to Tariq Nasheed, was foundational Black Americans. Let's be for real. Come on. And I mean, listen, they say, and I'm not saying this because this is not what I'm saying, right? This is not me. But a lot of people like to say Umar scamming, right? And again, I don't think he is. The only thing I say about that, when people say that to me, again, I always say, Show me how much he stole. Show me how much he raised first. Number one, show me all the money that he raised, right? I want a specific number too. Don't just say, yo, he raised $2 million. Show me that he raised $2 million. Show me how much he took out of that $2 million, right? But again, unless you are stealing, right? Unless you are allegedly stealing, that Pan-Africanism shit is dead, dog, because ain't nobody even putting no bread up. Ain't nobody doing shit for real at the end of the day. Not enough to be saying, yo, we rock with y'all. This is why we have to do our own thing, family. We have to do our own thing. And again, man, I showed it on my other video that we had it was a whole bunch of tethers, right? That was, down in reparations, as most of them do, right? They was down in reparations, and that's why I say, like, what's the point of working with people that don't agree with you, who come over here to your country and undermine you, talk crazy wild, right? That's why I say it's another thing too, right? A lot of other people feel as though they can just talk wild crazy to us, right? I don't know what it is, right? But it's just like, I think it's because we're the lowest man at the totem pole, so everybody just feels like they could just say whatever, just shit on us. And I notice notice one thing that happens too, right? Again, people always do that when we're not around, though, right? Like they'll say that on their little, their little Facebook page, their IG, their little reels and YouTube pages and things like that. But when you're around foundational Black Americans, you don't talk like that. You don't talk like that. You just don't. Because niggas will give you the business. And I ain't even talking about physical or none of that, because we'll do that too. But we ain't even talking. We're not even on that time right now, right? But we'll give you the business back, right? We know we will cuss your motherfucking monkey ass out at the end of the day. So again, a lot of this is like, let's kick the people that's down. Let's kick them while they down, and oh, they ain't. You feel what I'm saying? It's just the person, like, and again, that whole vibe, when people do that, already tells me, when I see people that do that, I just be like, okay, y'all one of those people who will get a settlement, or they'll hit the lottery and they'll shit on their own family. Those are the type of people that do that and be like, oh, Black Americans, they this, that, and the third, and they just be having so much animosity towards us, right? So much animosity towards us. I'll be like, bro, nigga, we ain't even did shit to you. Why you talk down on us so bad? Like we done something to you. You feel me? But they don't have no smoke for these white supremacists, dog. You won't hear no African person talk about, oh, white supremacy. They don't do that shit. They don't be talking about white supremacy like that. But they be real quick to talk about us, right? So again, again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't work with Black people, or African people, or just different, Black people that aren't in our lineage. I think we should work with all of them. Excuse me, my chair stay falling down a little bit. I'm over here sinking. I'm not saying we should never, work with people like that. But again, man, family, we have to be mindful of what we're doing, and be intentional, and who we mess with, who we're building with, you know what I'm saying, who we're doing business with, and things like that, because you do have a lot of people out here who don't really like us, who would love to see Black, foundational Black American freedmen at the bottom forever, right? They would love to see that. And again, who I want to give a shout out to? I want to give a shout out to the brother, what's the name? Ben X and the Farrakhan Muhammad. I want to show y'all something. I love these brothers too on some real live shit. Like, I love what they're doing. This is the type of time we have to be on. Again, this is some foundational Black American shit right here. So let me show y'all something, man. They hold on, family. Let me show you. I love what they're doing for the community, man. I love what they're doing, man. This is the one right here.
Behind me is the property line, guys. 450 acres. There's no zoning laws here. We're literally free to build as we wish. This Pink River right here is where our property ends. It runs a mile this way and over a mile that way. All land is fertile. Most of it is flat. A lot of it is already cleared. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to show our people what we can do with the power of our unity. We have so much room for commercial, so much room for agricultural, so much room for residential. And I look forward to showing you guys how this is going to look, because this corner right here, right now is nothing here except trees. But one day when you come here, it's going to be clear that there's a whole community behind this corner that I'm standing at right here. Peace.
I love these brothers, man. Yo, I love these brothers, bro. You know why I love these brothers? Because they are doing the work.
Hey, this is Farrakhan Muhammad Ali. We just signed the agreement locking down the 200 acres in Ghana. The special thing about this property, besides the owners being some of the most amazing people we've met in this process, is that it's a cocoa farm. It's a 200 acre cocoa farm in Ghana, which, if you know, makes some of the best chocolate in the world. So we're starting off with 25 kilograms a month. It's sustainably harvested, family owned and operated, directly from the source in Ghana. It's an amazing opportunity. So here at the farm is going to have its own partnering up with Noah Family Estates. And we need people to take this cocoa powder, 25.
I love these brothers, man. I'm gonna do a whole separate video about them and you know, what they got going on and everything, because I love that. I love that, man. Shout out to them brothers. Peace and love to the family, man. Peace, love, and reparations, man. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that notification bell. We are almost there, family. We need 40 more subscribers, man. 40 more subscribers, family, and we will be monetized. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, and I hope that y'all had a great weekend. I did. I spent the weekend with my kids. We was over there tripping. Them boys is funny. My boys is so funny, man. Shout out to them. Oh yeah, make sure y'all celebrate the Ratasasi holiday, December 24th. I just had my kids, you know, write a matter of fact, hold on, I actually can show y'all. My kids wrote a where did it go? It's my boys. Yo, my son is so funny, yo. He's so funny. I love my son. My son Jaden, I said, yo, you gotta write something on Harriet Tubman and Frances Cress Welsing, right? They handwriting a little sloppy, but my son Jada, he Googled Frances Cress Welsing, right? No, he Googled Harriet Tubman, and I was like, he's like, I gotta write about him. I said, nah, buddy, that's a woman. And he was like, wow. I said, you know, breaking the slaves out is rough. He said, I see. Yo, that's my dude. Bro.
We talk about cons and puts and reparations and what was it? Ratasasi. We talk about everything for at least 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours, okay?
Hey, my babies right there, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to my babies. Yeah, we had fun. We had fun like a mug, man. They was at this, I took them to this park, and it was like a castle over there. So they said they in the castle and they was like, Dad, this is the place where we talk about, where we sit in the castle and we talk about reparations and calls and puts. Like, these dudes is crazy as hell. They hear me talk about all the time, so that's what they talk about, man. Shout out to my babies, man. Oh, subscribe to their channel, man. Willie and Jaden Gaming, man. They got a little channel called Willie and Jaden Gaming. Subscribe to them, let them get some subscribers, man. But we trying to get to this. We trying to get to this the Style Wow family. We almost there. Peace, love, and reparations, man. I'm out of here. Y'all have a blessed day.